trailers or anything like that. They just decided, fuck it, and released the Bob's Burger movie.
That's us. 4:30.
Yeah. Right through empty.
All right, let's go. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was released in 2022 and was directed by the guy that directed the original Spider-Man trilogy, the man himself, Sam Rami. It tells the story of when Doctor Strange opened the portals to the multiverse and now anything can walk through multiple realities with a very big threat being unleashed. So yesterday I saw Doctor Strange 2 with my good friend Tig, and we walked out both agreeing on the same thing. It was a good movie, but pretty disappointing. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, sadly, wasn't that great to me. It's been getting a very mixed reception. Some people are absolutely loving the movie, and some people are saying, it's okay, it's good, but pretty underwhelming. Sadly, I'm afraid I have to side with it being an underwhelming movie. Personally, I was a bit disappointed with how this movie was. And the problem was the storyline. The story was pretty weak. The direction by Sam Rami is good enough. The horror elements worked very well. There were a lot of cool jump scares that actually reminded me of Venom from Spider-Man 3. And there were some really cool shots too. But just the execution of the story was a bit weak. It wasn't bad by any means, but it just wasn't that engaging. A lot of scenes in the movie were quite boring. Even when the movie started off, I just said, it's entertaining so far, but it wasn't great. And as the film went on, I just said to myself, this is a good enough movie, but it's not amazing. And after Spider-Man No Way Home, this is such a step down in my book. The movie is 2 hours long, but the movie actually dragged a lot in areas. And a lot of it just felt disappointing. What they did with the multiverse was cool, but the cameos, I won't spoil, were just weak. They just didn't feel that special. They didn't feel impactful. They just felt very simple. And I think that was quite an underwhelming aspect of the film. What they did with Doctor Strange as a character was good, but what they did with Scarlet Witch, not so much. So the storyline was sadly quite weak. It was a bit weak, and lets the movie down in my book. Visually though, the movie looks stunning. The cinematography is real Sam Raimi-like. A lot of shots really do remind me of the original Spider-Man trilogy. I don't watch horror movies, so I don't know much about Sam Raimi's other films, because I know that he's a horror film director, but a lot of the shots in this film, you can tell were very much a Sam Raimi movie. And I thought the cinematography, like I said, was really good. The action sequences were phenomenal. The special effects, the CGI, gorgeous. But there sadly wasn't a lot of action in this film. I thought the action we got was fantastic, but there could have been a lot more. There definitely could have been a lot more exciting, engaging, and fun action sequences. Again, the action was good, it was fantastic, but there wasn't enough. And the characters, well, some were good, some were pretty weak. I did like the character arc for Doctor Strange in the film. I thought his development was quite good. They do a lot of twists and turns with his character, and I think Sam Raimi's direction certainly took Stephen as a character to new heights, and the future does seem to be interesting for him. America was a pretty solid character as well. It's quite interesting how she can travel through the multiverse, and she has a pretty decent dynamic with Doctor Strange. I was pretty disappointed with Wong. He was good, but he wasn't in the movie as much as I had hoped. Scarlet Witch's character arc was very forced and just didn't feel right. To me personally, it felt a little out of character. I can't exactly put my finger as to why, but I just found her story in the film to be very, very forced. While it was nice to see Christine again, other than that, she wasn't that great. So yeah, sadly, a lot of the characters weren't at their best here. A lot of them just weren't great. The music by Danny Elfman was pretty good. It suits the tone of the film, it suits the scenes it was in, and overall, the music was pretty solid. So this is by no means a bad film, but it is a disappointment in my opinion. Doctor Strange 2 is still an entertaining movie, but it sadly is a bit of a disappointment. The storyline is very weak, a lot of the characters aren't at their best, and it sadly doesn't have as much action scenes. The action is still fantastic, and the music is pretty good. It just could have been such a better film. I'm going to give Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness a 7 out of 10. So yeah, while still a decent, enjoyable, entertaining, fun movie, and it is worth a watch, it just felt disappointing. So that's my review for Doctor Strange 2. What did you think of the movie? Did you love it or did you find it a disappointment? Let me know in the comments below. Stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be on Morbius. Oh, a lot of response. Yeah, it's been getting, let's say I'm interested to see it. That's all I'll say. I'm going to review it. That's going to be the next review. It's going to be interesting. I expect it to be something. That's all I'll say. Anyway, stay tuned for that. Until then, everyone, take care, guys. Thank you all for watching this review. And until then, skidoosh.